I am a very young immortal. Am I then immortal? This is a question which I have asked myself by day and night for now 303 years, and yet cannot answer it. I will tell my story, and my readers shall judge for me. I will tell my story, and so contrive to pass some few hours of a long eternity, become so wearisome to me? Forever. Can it be to live forever? I have heard of enchantments in which the victims were plunged into a deep sleep, to awake, after 100 years, as fresh as ever. I have heard of the 7 sleepers. Thus, to be immortal would not be so burthensome. But oh, the weight of never-ending time. But to my task. All the world has heard of Cornelius Agrippa. Mr. Agrippa?
Oh, yes. How was your rest?
A restful night.
How was Bertha?
She's well?
Very good. Why don't you come in?
Well, that's something I wanted to ask you about.
On with it then?
My friends, they've asked me to leave you. They told me a tale, a dire one, about the accident, and I just don't know.
I see. Well, I believe it would be in your best interest for you to stay.
And what is that?
That would be your payments if you stayed. I see.
Have a good day, Mr. Agrippa.
Same to you, young man.
Hello, Bertha.
Oh, hello, Lindsay. It's a beautiful day out, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So, I left the philosopher today.
But why?
The accident had complicated things.
We need the money.
Not everything is about money, Bertha. So, there's something I wanted to ask you about. We've been friends for many years now, right? And, well, I love you. And I ask you to marry me. I can't afford a ring yet, but when I can, I'll buy you a ring.
I can't.
What? Why?
I can't marry you. You have no money.
But that shouldn't matter. I love you.
And I to you. But what will they think?
So you're saying that if I can get money, I can court you? When can I start, Mr. Agrippa? Right here, Mr. Agrippa.
All right. Very nice.
So, I was wondering if maybe you could let me off a little bit earlier this evening. Me and Bertha had made plans, and, well, considering that we're seeing each other now, it only seems fair.
You know work comes first.
Well, yes, of course, but I would only need but like an hour.
Work comes first.
Yes, Mr. Agrippa.
Hey, are you okay?
Oh, yes. I'm fine. I'm just waiting for my date. He should be here by now.
Well, if you ever need anything, just holler.
Thank you, Albert.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry.
Where have you been?
I was with Mr. Agrippa. He kept me out late, I swear. I'm sorry.
Don't make excuses. You don't love me.
What? That's absurd. Yes, I was late tonight, but that means nothing. I still want to be with you.
You were late tonight, last night, the night before that, and the night before that one.
Come on, Bertha.
If you loved me, you wouldn't be late all the time.
Bertha! Bertha! Come on! In my dingy retreat, I heard that she had been hunting, attended by Albert Hoffer. Albert Hoffer was favored by her protectress, and the three of them passed in cavalcade before my smoky window. Methought that they had mentioned my name. It was followed by a laugh of derision as her dark eyes glanced contemptuously towards my abode. Jealousy, with all its venom and all its misery, now entered my breast. Now I shed a torrent of tears to think that I should never call her mine, and anon I imprecated 1,000 curses on her inconsistency. Yet still I must stir the fires of the alchemist, still attend on the changes of his unintelligible medicines.
Lindsay, I have a job for you. I have finished my elixir, and I need you to stay up and watch for whenever it is ready to drink. I would do it myself, but I am tired now.
What is the elixir, Mr. Agrippa?
Well, it is a love-curing potion. That's right. If you drink it, you are sure to fall out of love. So, don't drink it, or you are sure to fall out in love with Bertha. And you wouldn't want that.
It cures one's love?
Yes, so don't touch it to your lips. Now, the elixir has a soft rose color. And then it turns into a white, and then starts flashing. But don't wait for that. As soon as it starts fading, wake me up.
Yes, Mr. Agrippa. Get some rest.
To cure my love for Bertha. What have you done? You've ruined my life's work, you wretched fool! So, what happened? So, what happened? It started flashing and you were scared, so you dropped it?
To cure my love for Bertha.
Go get some rice. And some way to figure this out.
I wanna throw this fight and kiss away your pain tonight, but that would only make this harder. She can't stand to sleep alone, no, no, and I hate losing, so I wait till we get tired.
Hello, Lindsay.
I was cured of love, and lifted above all human fears. I hastened forwards. How lovely Bertha looked! Her eyes flashing fire, her cheeks glowing with impatience and charming than ever. I no longer loved. Oh no, I adored, worshipped, idolized her.
You found
Son
me
of
now.
a... Bertha,
Yes,
What?
take me to your mother's cot. Swiftly let me leave the detested luxuries and wretchedness of the noble dwelling. Take me to poverty and happiness.
Soon after this eventful day, I became the husband of Bertha. I ceased to be the scholar of Cornelius, but I continued his friend. I always felt grateful to him for having, unaware, produced me that delicious draught of a divine elixir, which, instead of curing me of love, had inspired me with courage and resolution, thus winning for me an inestimable treasure in my Bertha. 5 years afterwards, I was suddenly summoned to the bedside of the dying Cornelius.
Behold, the vanity of human dreams. For a second time, my hopes may be crowned, and for a second time, they may be destroyed. Remember that time, 5 years ago, when I made this same elixir, and you swiped it from me? But that's all in the past. Now, I may drink this and regain my life.
How could a cure for love restore your life?
A cure for love, a cure for everything. Behold the elixir of immortality.
Mr. Agrippa. Mr. Agrippa. I lived, and was to live, forever, so said the unfortunate alchemist, and for a few days I believed his words. I remembered the glorious drunkenness that had followed my stolen draught. I reflected on the change I had felt in my frame and my soul, the bounding elasticity of the one, the buoyant lightness of the other. I surveyed myself in a mirror, and could perceive no change in my features during the space of the 5 years which had elapsed. I remembered the radiant hues and grateful scent of that delicious beverage, worthy the gift it was capable of bestowing. I was then immortal. A few days after, I laughed at my crudelity. It possessed probably strong medicinal powers, imparting gladness to the heart and vigor to the limbs. but its effects would wear out. I continued to entertain this belief for many years. I was troubled. I looked at the faded beauty of Bertha. Bertha, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
What is it?
Well, it's not fair. You should not have to live like this. With my ill luck. So I decided earlier this evening, I will leave you. You have money and friends to take care of you. So I shall leave. I love you, Bertha.
Lindsay, my husband, no. You shall not go without me. Among strangers, we shall be unsuspected and safe. We will not go alone. I'll go with you.
The next day, we prepared secretly for our immigration. It was a cruel thing to transport poor Bertha from her native village and the friends of her youth, to a new country, new language, new customs. We lived on for many long years. I nursed her as a mother might a child. She grew peevish and still harped upon one string of how long I should survive her. It has ever been a source of consolation to me that I performed my duties scrumptiously towards her. She had been mine in youth, she was mine in age, and at last, when I heaped the sod over her corpse, I wept to feel that I had lost all that really bound me to humanity. I pause here in my history. I will pursue it no further. I have no beacon except the hope of death. Am I immortal? I return to my first question. In the first place, is it not more probable that the beverage of the alchemist was fraught rather with longevity than eternal life? Such is my hope. And then be it remembered that I only drank half of the potion prepared by him. Was not the whole necessary to complete the charm? To have drained half the elixir of immortality is but to be half immortal. I have asked myself whether suicide would be a crime in one to whom thus only the portals of the other world could be opened. Thus I have lived on for many years, alone and weary of myself, desirous of death, yet never dying. Immortal, immortal.
Slow down, we've got time left to be lazy. All the kids have bloomed from babies into flowers in our eyes. We've got 50 good years left to spend out in the garden. I don't care to beg your pardon, we should live until we die.